Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Bobby Hams here with my review of Superman Red Son, the WB DC Animation's latest adaptation of a DC Comics miniseries. Now, Red Son was first written by Mark Millar back in 2003. It's actually a three-part comic book series, so it's not really, it got turned into a graphic novel, and it consists of Red Son Rising, Red Son Ascendant, and Red Son Setting. Now, that miniseries of comics is considered to be an Elseworlds comic. Now, the Elseworlds storylines in DC, they're kind of like alternate histories and alternate versions of Superman and Batman, Wonder Woman, etc. And take like Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns, or Mark Waid and Alex Ross's Kingdom Come. Those are all Elseworlds stories in that they don't take place during the main sort of DC Comics events that go on, you know, kind of on a weekly basis. So Elseworld stories are self-contained, and because of that, they tend to be regarded as taking place on separate Earths. This is kind of plays into DC's multiverse thing, and Red Son, or Superman Red Son, takes place reportedly on Earth 30. So on Earth 30, Kal-El's ship doesn't land on a farm in Smallville. It lands on a collective farm, which is basically a farm owned by the people in Ukraine, in Soviet Union, Russia. Because of that divergence in where he lands, he doesn't grow up with American values and American outlook on life. He grows up with a Soviet outlook and a Soviet approach to protecting the people of Russia and the Soviet Union. Now, even though he doesn't grow up as Clark Kent in the Soviet Union, he does have a Soviet name, a Russian name. It's just that in the comics, that name is never spoken out loud. It's considered to be a government secret, so no one knows about it. But in the movie, he does have a Soviet name, and that version of Lana Lang knows it, and she says it a couple times, but I don't remember what it was, and it's not really that important anyway. Sam Liu directed this animated movie, and he has a very long history going way back with DC animation, in that he used to be a storyboard artist on many projects, Teen Titans being one of them. Some of his adaptations have been pretty good, like The Death of Superman that he did in 2018 or 2019, whatever that was. But then others have been absolutely terrible, like The Killing Joke, which was just awful. Although there were a ton of changes made from the comics to make this movie happen, I think that Superman Red Son is one of Sam Liu's better adaptations, because similar to the comics, Sam Liu is able to maintain Superman's core essence as a character regardless of what ideology he grows up with. Because even though he was raised as a communist in this Elseworld story, Superman is still at his core someone who strives to protect others from harm. So that still makes him identifiable as the Superman that we know in the West. Kal-El being a communist doesn't change the intrinsic truth of his personality, making me wonder, would the world still see Superman the same way, and would he be as popular as he is, undeniably popular of course, if Siegel and Schuster had decided to make him a hero from the Soviet Union instead of as a hero from the US? Would that make a difference? Like I said, the animated movie does diverge quite a bit from the original source material in the comics, but nothing is as egregiously awful as that despicable sex scene between Batman and Batgirl from The Killing Joke, because that shit was nowhere near the comics. I don't know who came up with that idea, if it was Sam Liu's idea, if it was Bruce Timm's idea, but that thing ruined the entire movie for me because it just made absolutely no sense. And I know in The Killing Joke, sorry to go on a tangent here, but I know The Killing Joke, the cartoon anyway, had that scene with Batman and Barbara. I guess to force a reason why Batman would be upset when Barbara got shot by Joker. I don't know why that was necessary. I don't know who the hell figured Batman needed a motivation to dislike Joker even more. But anyway, nothing like that goes on in Superman Red Son, which I was very thankful for, except there is this one thing, again with Batman, where he's portrayed as this sort of really psychopathic terrorist who blows up museums, all in an effort to get Superman to come out and face him basically so he can kill him. And like in the comics, Batman is nowhere near that extreme. Just like Superman is still recognizable as far as his character is concerned, and he just has on a different costume, maybe has, you know, different beliefs, but it's still the same guy. Batman is the same way. He's still the same guy. He still suffers the same trauma, but he's not some bomb-throwing lunatic that's like murdering innocent people left and right. Now, if he was like that in the comics, I'd say it made sense in the movie, in the animated movie, because with like The Dark Knight Returns, Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns, that Batman was very old and grizzled, and he was a very violent Batman. So when it translated to the movie, it made sense. With Batman's character in Superman Red Son, nothing like that is there. He's still very cunning and very smart, and he's willing to die for his cause. But killing other people like it is in the animated movie, that's like spun out of whole cloth. That's that whole Barbara Gordon Batman sex scene again. It just came out of nowhere. And so that made me wonder, does Sam Liu hate Batman, like, really? Because I'm starting to see a pattern here. Now, because I had read the comics already, the Batman piece didn't make any sense to me, whatever. It's very, very just absurd. However, someone who hasn't read the comics probably wouldn't even notice. Now, Superman Red Son is only about an hour and 24 minutes long. Now, that runtime is what made me understand why so many of the changes were made. It's completely forgivable. Hold nothing against it. However, like The Dark Knight Returns and The Death of Superman, I think that Superman Red Son should have been split into 2 parts, made into 2 movies at least, and combine maybe Red Son Rising and Ascendant together, and then have the Red Son setting as the second part of the movie. Just to give it more time to shine, as it were. So other than the Batman thing, this movie is pretty good. Like I said, it's nothing too great. I don't think it compares to Dark Knight Returns. That's kind of like the high bar right now for me anyway, for DC animation. And the thing is, WB and DC, they make really great animated movies. So when you get something like The Dark Knight Returns that really just, hits a home run with it, it's kind of hard to live up to that again. But I mean, Death of Superman was pretty good. Gotham by Gaslight's another really good one. And Superman Red Son, it's up there, it's in the area, it's in the zip code. So I recommend Superman Red Son if you have the time and you have an hour and a half or so. You just want to chill out and watch something that's not gonna melt your brain or make you stupid. But I really recommend the comic or the graphic novel now a lot more. You'll enjoy that way more than the movie, I think anyway, because of just the way that the comic series is able to put everyone into the story and just give them all alternate versions and alternate histories. And the way that Superman interacts with the rest of the world in the comics is a bit more fleshed out. So that's going to do it for this review. Thanks again for watching. Like and subscribe if you'd like to like and subscribe to things. And I'll see you in the next video when I go up, up, and away.